Okay.
Chicka. Yeah.
Kill Bill and Rev. We don't suck. Ooh.
Oh, are we recording? Sorry, my bad. I was just doing my vocal exercises. I didn't know we were recording. You should have signaled to me, Bill. Welcome back to the We Don't Suck podcast. Episode 64 stands for Nintendo 64.
Rolling down the street in my podcast episode number 64.
Rolling down the street in my Nintendo 64. Oh, man.
Oh, man. Just fucking hang it up. Just quit.
We just reached this sort of... I think it's all downhill from here, so maybe we should just call it quits while we're at the top.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. No, I think you should. I think I can just handle it from... Just let me do it.
No,
just let me do
I
it.
think you should
kinda...
I think you should go, man.
Why, dude? What the fuck? What did I do?
I don't know, man. You're not going to be able to outdo my flip of your joke.
Okay, check it out. I'm about to hit you with the even better flip. You ready?
Okay.
Rolling down the street in my Nintendo 65. I knew it. I kill it. Man, I gotta say, man, you're looking particularly just scrumptious today.
Yeah, well, shut your fucking mouth. I'm spoken for.
You're bespoke.
I am bespoke for your mom's vagina. Sorry, man. I didn't.
Doing man.
So, yeah, welcome back to the most mature podcast.
Yeah. This is your host, Ray William Johnson.
And Rav.
And Rav.
Rav William Johnson.
Yeah, I saw someone tweeted Rav William Johnson at you at least twice. For some reason, I don't know. I've seen that happen, you know.
Because I guess Ray and Rav look very similar as words as well, you know. And
has anyone ever called you Ray before?
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, Raymundo. I'm gonna start calling you Ray.
Yeah, I think it's happened maybe like honestly only once or twice in my life. Most of the time it'll be like Rav, you know, like instead of Rav.
If you got super ripped and put on a Rey Mysterio mask, you'd look almost like Rey Mysterio.
Thanks, man. Moving on. How has your day been?
It's been pretty good, man.
You quarantining, my friend?
Yeah, well, I'm social distancing. There's no like official quarantine here yet because I'm in a small town. There hasn't been any confirmed cases. I'm doing air quotes because I'm sure that somewhere in this fucking town, someone is just lurking and they've got the coronavirus, but they're afraid to get tested, and they're saying stuff like faith over fear. You know what I mean? Because it's... You know.
Well, actually, like, you know, my brother caught the coronavirus last week, and now he's fine now. He's almost recovered. But he had it pretty bad, and so he just self-isolated. He stayed at home. He had enough stuff to survive at home, but he just didn't have... He couldn't go to the hospital, you know? And he knew he had it because all the symptoms over time checked out, and he knew he was feeling like shit, and he had the flu shot, so it wasn't the flu, and he's like very good health otherwise, you know? And so it was pretty clear, but obviously he is not accounted for by the government as a case. And I know that all of his friends, more or less, also caught it, and they had to pretty much follow the same steps, so they're not accounted for. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is a common phenomenon throughout the world, because what do? Do you call them and be like, I definitely got it, add me to the you know, like, you know, there's no real...
Well, I mean, if you go to the hospital, they just do it already, but like, I feel like
if you go to the hospital, you're endangering potentially other people, because here it's like some people aren't taking it seriously just yet either, you know? I talked about it on Arrow's podcast, Space is the Place, episode 2X, which would have been...
X2?
X2, yeah, which would have been the week...
You dumbass.
Sorry, would have been last week, I guess, by the time this episode comes out. But Yeah, so I don't know, maybe by the time this episode comes out, we are going to be in lockdown mode. But because we aren't, some people are out and about. There's fewer people now than ever before. But still, if you're going to the hospital and there are people there that aren't infected, but they're worried and they're getting tested, they might get infected just because of the proximity, So
yeah, of course. But I do think that like if you're like a fucking high risk person, you should definitely like go to the hospital though, right? Isn't that how that works?
it
Like you don't want to die.
If you know you're for sure super sick and you know it's the coronavirus, and you have all the food and water, liquids and everything at home, I feel like one of the best things you can do is just stay home, and then stay home for like whatever the period was that they said, like 2 to 4 weeks before it disappears, before it stops being contagious. I think that's a fairly reasonable course of action to take personally.
Yeah, no, I totally understand that, especially like if you're like a young person and you know that you're not going to die. Then like for sure, I feel like if you're older, you should probably go to the hospital though. Cause like, I feel like they could do something for you. But yeah, me personally, I'm just hacking on everybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm just letting them know, just letting them know if I've got to suffer, the whole world's got to suffer. You know what I'm saying? Please, someone don't take that out of context and know that I'm not joking. That I am joking. Sorry. I am joking right now.
She's not joking. Don't take it out of context and make it seem like he was just having a laugh,
By the way, speaking of not joking or whatever, I checked my SoundCloud messages today, and apparently I have a small beepy.
Really? How did they know?
Well, I don't know if you remember, but last week's episode.
I don't remember. I don't know. Remember what happened last week? Last week is in the past.
And sometimes when sometimes you just got to move on. You got to move on and just,
I'm sure it was only like 1 or 2 messages, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Anyway,
let's just say it was that. Let's just say it was just 1 or 2.
Okay.
Because.
Yeah.
We'll just say that. So, man, how are you? Tell me everything. Tell me. And
what are you going to be doing like this period? I mean, it's pretty much we're self-quarantining, right? Like that's practicing social distancing is just another way of saying like stay home, dumbass.
Yeah.
So
I've just been cooling. I've been watching anime. I've started watching Dr. Stone as per your recommendation. I've also been rewatching Outlaw Star. I say rewatching. I've never like fully watched all of Outlaw Star. I just caught it when it was on Toonami back in the day. And I've been writing. I've been working on my little studio setup over here, trying to make everything look real sexy. Somebody sent me, I have like an Amazon wish list, and someone sent me some studio foam. So I've been trying to figure out how to put that up in this closet so I can have like a real sexy little, reverb free, recording experience. And so that's been fun. And they also sent me this cool lava lamp that I'm looking at right now, and I'm really eyeing it, and it's got glittery stars in it. And so I'm looking at that. But yeah, I just been cooling it in here, trying to get everything, I just released that quarantine joint over that J Electronica beat. Yeah. And so I did that. I had to hit him with that number real quick, but I feel like I'm just gonna make an ass of music. That's kind of my my quarantine resolution. What about you, man? What are you gonna do during these trying times?
I mean, pretty much same. Staying home. I've recommended this to you before, but unless you've already watched it, watch Promised Neverland season 1.
I haven't watched it yet. I'm going to.
I'd recommend that over Dr. Stone. That being said, Dr. Stone is really fun, so keep watching that.
Dr. Stone, more like Dr. Bone, and he just fucks the whole time.
All right, yeah, that's hot. Hunter x Hunter, Haikyuu would be another one I'd recommend. But anyway, moving on. Yeah, I mean, I've been doing the same old. Me and my girl, we've been watching lots of anime, lots of movies and shit like that, playing lots of games. we just got another Switch because we pre-ordered the Animal Crossing New Horizons Switch exclusive thing that comes with like the Switch itself is like Animal Crossing branded. The Switch bag is Animal Crossing. We have the tote bag, which is exclusive to the Europe only pre-orders. So we're going to be probably playing a lot of that, and maybe playing some like multiplayer stuff from our 2 separate consoles. She'll be like in the bedroom, I'll be in the living room maybe, and like we could play something more competitive together. Because I mean, it's fun to play already on like, I don't know, like Mario Kart on the same screen, but
yeah,
I don't know. It could be just a little more fun.
It's nice to have the like 2-screen situation though. Like it's like the equivalent of like playing Halo with your friends and it's split screen, and then like the first time you play them online and you realize like how much of a different experience it is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we might do some stuff like that. But aside from that, yeah, just working more or less same old. Just writing a whole lot of music, producing a whole lot of beats and shit, and recording whenever I can.
Lame.
And I started again looking into building a studio, because the problem with like I've talked about this before, but my studio is like I have to put it together before recording. So like whether we do the podcast and Let's Plays or I do music, I have to put it together. It takes me like 10 to 15 minutes. I do the recordings, then I have to put it apart and put it away, right? Because I'm fairly organized. I like to live clean, and everything has this like function and purpose. So I can't be having like a studio in the middle of my home.
Oh yeah, fuck that.
Obstructing everything.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I've been looking into it. My girl actually started helping me look into like, again, that idea of hiring a team of people to build a studio shed in the garden, right? And like I found some like real ballin' looking ones. They're gonna cost me like
hell yeah
a few dozen racks probably, though, or at least a dozen or 2 racks. So I'm just kind of like waiting.
I'm sorry. I've never heard someone say a dozen racks before.
Oh yeah, that's facts.
It just sounds funny. Like yeah, you know, a bundle of them, a bundle of racks. Just put it in a bag,
Just
you know,
a
as
bunch
much
of
as a bag
stacks.
and fill up in racks.
Yeah.
This sounds funny.
That does sound funny. Yeah, so I'm just
I
kind
need
of
a baker's dozen in racks.
a baker's dozen in racks. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I love
There you
that
go.
phrase.
I love baker's dozen. Yeah, as a phrase. But it's gonna. So what I'm doing is I'm waiting for April. Like the second week of April, I'm gonna take care of my taxes, because our tax season here works a bit different to yours, and I've only been self-employed for now a year, almost a year. I'm coming up to a year. So my taxes are actually due start of next year, but the tax year ends like 5th or 6th April. So I'm going to get my accountant to take care of it like immediately then. So I don't have to worry about it and put all the money aside that I need, or like even just submit it. Or just way ahead of time.
Yeah.
I don't know if we can do
I think
that.
you can just submit it early. I think you can file and submit early.
Okay, yeah,
I'm
just
pretty sure.
get that out the way, and then I can sort of more strategically assess my finances and proceed in like a fiscally responsible and informed way, and hopefully hire a team. Again, because of the pandemic, I don't know if it's going to be that easy to get someone to do it anymore. There's like services that do that, but specifically building studios for recording. But might be difficult now. Might have to wait until summer, hopefully not, and get that built.
Yeah.
And once I'll have that, then man, my output is going to increase so drastically, because sometimes I'm just inspired a bit and I'm like, oh, I want to record, but like that means I have to kick my girl out of the living room. I have to set up the studio.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, what if I'm not even that inspired? I'm kind of inspired, but I don't know. Like, I don't want to waste my time. What if I put it? So that really sucks. And I feel like it is responsible for, I feel like I would have been I'd be more productive if I just had a permanent studio set up. Available.
Yeah,
to
there's a thing I watched. Shout out to Andrew Huang, who has a really great YouTube channel,
Oh, yeah.
like music centric YouTube channel, but he was talking about I watched a video on like him giving advice on like productivity, and he was talking about like if you're a guitarist, like leave your guitar in a place where you can just pick it up and play it at any point. And like it's just this kind of like push a button and play, because that's going to make you want to play. And I feel like that's like the same idea with music. Like I mean like guitar's not music. Like with recording music, if you have like a very like simple like okay, like it's time to get started, and then you just step up to it and you just start rapping, like you can do it at any point. Like obviously there's a little bit more setup involved than that, but like not that much if you plan ahead of how to get it. You know what I'm saying? Like if you plan out how to have it at the ready. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so like that was one thing that I did because I have a laptop, and I mean I know you have a laptop too, but when I was staying over at Shane's place back in the day, I would not move my laptop from that little recording nook. Like if I wanted to watch YouTube or whatever, I just watch it on my phone and shit. And like that helped a lot at the time, because I was just like, at the time I was like, oh, I'd have to like bring it in there and set it up and like plug it in and like all this stuff. And it's like simple, especially in comparison to whatever you were talking about with like building and breaking down a studio. But like even that I feel like did like that was like Sleep Talking, like all those joints was just kind of like, oh, okay, cool, let's just do it real quick. You know what I mean? There wasn't like any kind of
lightning in a bottle.
Yeah, of course. And that's I think that's like what I'm going to start doing over here is trying to just kind of leave my shit, because I have like the whole setup now. Like, I mean, I have a monitor on the way if I do get it in time, because I know Amazon's a little funky right now because of all the quarantine shit. But like I have like this little laptop stand that's like vertical, and so I kind of want to use my laptop more like a desktop and not move it around a lot. And I think that would help a lot too, with like, oh, it's time to record, and just go like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, but yeah, definitely. I think that's a good idea. I think that if you have like the finances set aside for something like that, like definitely do it, because it's also tight, you know, when you tell people like, yo, I'm going to the studio, like it's not just like you're going to your bedroom. However, I will say you got to revoke your bedroom wrapper.
Well, technically, I haven't been recording in my bedroom for years. It's mostly
I haven't either.
Room,
Oh my god, dude, we're fucking frauds, bro.
Living room rappers.
Yeah, living room. I've in the studio room is what I have right now. Yeah, which it was my old, okay. It was a bedroom. It was my old bedroom when I was a kid, but there's no bed in here now. So fuck y'all. I'm moving up in the world. Rav's moving up in the world. Y'all ain't nothing. Y'all in your bedroom. We're in the old bedroom.
You know,
we're in the garden.
You were talking about like you were getting new studio equipment and shit. I actually got myself one piece of studio equipment that's new. I usually try to keep everything the same. I have a pretty minimalist setup because I like to be mobile. I like to be able to just like grab my MacBook, grab my Bluetooth Korg keyboard, my Bluetooth headphones, and just I could migrate to my bed in the bedroom. Like while my girl's watching Netflix in the back, I could just be on the bed, have all this shit in front of me, and it's like it's all wireless. There's no cables anywhere, no risk of like tripping somebody up or something falling. You know, I like that the ability to be mobile, and like put everything in the backpack and go. So I usually don't get new equipment, but I finally replaced my audio interface. So for many years I had what's the first one I had was like Alicio, or what was it called? The company that does audio interfaces. It starts with
I know which one you're talking about.
I think Alicio. I don't remember.
Yeah, I think it is Alicio.
Something like that. It was cool. I had that. I don't know. Then I sort of migrated to using like a tube preamp at some point, a valve tube preamp, and then I kind of paired that with some other Alicio audio interface, I think, at one point for many years. Then I switched over to like the cheapest Focusrite, the USB Focusrite that they had with just one.
The 1i1 Scarletts or whatever, or 2i1s or whatever they are.
Yeah, but the one that just has only one input, you know, the smallest version. Yeah. Of it. And I've used that, I think, now for maybe like 5 years or something, or Yeah, something like that. Something like 5 years. And I've now upgraded to an SSL2. So solid state Logic.
Did you get the 2 or the 2 Plus?
I only got the 2 because the 2 Plus is not necessary for me. Again, I don't have multiple inputs. I am a rapper.
Yet.
Yeah, but like I'm not trying to get a band. Even if I'm trying to record. First of all, if I record sounds for beats and stuff like that, I use my. I have like a separate recorder for that. You know, I have the Zoom H5. I think. Well, let me see. Yeah, the Zoom H5. I use it for these recordings, for instance, right? So that I don't get any hum from any equipment and stuff like that. And so I use that for field recording, and I don't really need my audio interface for anything other than just direct vocal recording vocals. That's it. So I upgraded it, and it's got that 4K sound button. 4K, for those that don't know, it's like it was a piece of equipment that they had, the SSL 4K or whatever, that had like it's one of like their classic pieces of equipment that had like this very awesome analog sound to it.
Yeah.
And so they've implemented it here where you press this button and it sort of like imitates that behavior and everything, and it sounds incredible.
From what I understand, it's just it's a slight EQ boost on the high end, and then there's it's like saturation, but it's like analog saturation.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, so that's a cool thing. Have you been enjoying it? Like, have you like gotten a chance to like really fuck with it?
Oh, it's incredible. It's been so good. It sounds so good. Also, the controller itself is just way more comfortable and like easy to use than the Focusrite. The Focusrite was great, don't get me wrong, but it's just it had fewer options. Whereas here, like the switching back between the type of monitoring that I'm doing, like the headphones to the music to microphone ratio, I can fuck around with just for my headphones, and having a separate monitor settings as well. And also, like the Focusrite's actually quite incredible in terms of like the bit rate it can achieve. You know, like it could do like not just 41K and 48K. It can go 44K and 48K. It could do like 80 something K. This one can do it even better. Latency on it is even better. It feels like a little bit more of a serious piece of technology by comparison with Focusrite.
And for that price point, that's crazy.
It's insane.
The fact that it's like almost the same price. I think it's just a little more expensive than the Focusrite 2i2.
Yeah.
And
that's right.
And that's real wild to me because like I mean, I love my Focusrite. It's cool, but the one thing that you just said that you were talking about, you can change your change your music to microphone monitoring. Like I have to go in with the Focusrite. I have to go in to Audition and turn down the beat in the software.
That's
sometimes
exactly what I used to do.
Because I don't want to. Yeah, because I don't want to hear my fucking. I want to be able to hear myself. You know, and if I turn it up the gain too much, then it'll be like clipping, and I'm like, okay, this is dumb. Like, why don't they have that? But I will say I have an older Focusrite. I don't know if they've changed that or not, but I will say that sounds really nice, and that 4K option that seems like it's worth buying just for that
on its own. Yeah, for sure. The thing is, like, without it, it already sounds obviously really good anyway, especially given that I have a very good microphone. But I feel like the 4K button is really good. It's a nice addition, and it brings the best out of my U87. And
do you just leave it on now, or do you kind of
it depends. It depends. So like there was one song that I was working on when I still had the Focusrite. So when I did, but then I was recording like a verse 2 for it, and I actually separately at a different day, so I turned the 4K off for that, but for all the other parts of the vocals and everything, I used the 4K. And
that's tight.
I think I'm going to grab that song anyway, but like just from the sound alone and everything, the way everything sounded and everything, it's just so good. And as I said, the controller is really good. The other good thing about it is the Focusrite I had was really small, and it didn't really like show me the levels. So it's like if it was picking something up, it would go green, and if it was peaking, it would go like be red. and that's all the indication I
this
had.
is kind of like there's no in between. You can hit on the 2i2. I believe you can hit an orange, but I've never done it.
Oh, okay,
But apparently you can.
On the SSL2, you actually see like the traditional kind of level thing where it like jumps up and down, like you see like, you're like, oh, okay, I'm good. I'm like in the mid range right here, like in terms of like how much volume. I don't have to hit record, test in my audition, like, oh, how much am I peaking? Or am I too quiet? Like I can see that on my audio interface. I can like, boost.
That sounds really nice.
It's just
like a really nice addition.
It's just streamlining a lot of the shit that I used to do. It just makes everything a lot more efficient.
From what I understand, you're blessed in this equation because you have a Mac and your drivers are just kind of like
automatic.
Just plug and play.
Yeah, plug and play.
So just full disclosure, Square got one of these.
Yeah, he was the first to get it.
Got one of these. Yeah, he was the first to get it, and he got it. It was like right when they first were coming out because they were on back order for a long time because everybody wanted to get them. And I remember being so excited to hear what he did with it, and he showed us something, and it was dope. I was like, "Wow, this sounds really nice. Sounds really clean with his mic and all this stuff." And then, and then we started talking about it, and he was saying that there was a lot of really bad latency issues with his PC, and then when he would like certain songs just straight up wouldn't play in FL Studio, like songs that he had made that had, and I was just like sitting here thinking like, okay, that's clearly a driver issue because it should be able to handle like a fucking FLP file. It should be like, that's what they're made for, especially the big ones, and like I was just thinking because my Focusrite, I know that it's also a PC thing, like it depends on like what you have going on your PC, and it's also your RAM and your like processor and all this other stuff, but if he was using a Focusrite before, and the one song that he did, I'm not going to say the name of, he could play it flawlessly on the ACO on there. And then when you switch over to that one, it was like struggling just to play it on the highest buffer rate. So obviously they're ironing some kinks out on that. That's something that I would say if you're looking at getting one and you have a PC, that you should go and do your research and see if they fixed those drivers yet and look at reviews and stuff like that. It might have been something that was exclusive to him, but I highly doubt it.
Definitely good
But
point.
if you're a Mac person, like if you are using a Mac and you're not using something like that, like I would say to do it. I don't even have it, but just the way you described it to me made me be like, oh, I want one of these.
It's so worth it. Absolutely. If you're on an Apple computer and you're thinking about upgrading from your Focusrite, but you still don't want to go like price range beyond like $300 or something like that, right? You're just not willing to spend that much money, and you still like having some sort of like mobility with your studio, then I would say definitely invest in an SSL2 or SSL2 Plus, depending on how many inputs you prefer having. Because this one has 2 inputs. That's already more than I need. I think SSL2
Well,
Plus
is the 2 Plus, what's the difference between that and the 2 Plus? Because I didn't think the 2 Plus had.
I think SSL2 Plus has like a separate monitoring for like you can have like, instead of just having this one, I can do like the headphones and I can have monitors, right? And I can like I have a different knob for the headphones and a different knob for the monitors, which is great. And I think SSL2 Plus, I think it offers you another one, like another pair of headphones, I think maybe. And let me see. Yeah, because I'm curious.
I will tell you in a second.
It wasn't anything where I was like, oh man, this makes sense for me to get. Like I was like, oh, I get everything with the SSL2 that I need.
Oh, I think that do you have like a spot for like monitors and outputs and stuff? Is that the difference?
I have that though.
Yeah, because like there's like 2 headphone jacks on here, and then there's 2.
Yeah, there's basically just more outputs, it seems, actually, rather than inputs.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, it doesn't look that different though. It just doesn't have the it doesn't have the like.
It has the AKM
the
converters and the Alps pots and the Nutra connectors, which maybe not all of those are.
This already has more outputs than the Focusrite though, just straight up
Yeah,
the
exactly.
normal one does.
Exactly. Already has more than that, and already has more inputs than my Focusrite had.
Yeah.
But I know that Square basically ended up sending it back and going back to using the Focusrite. He had a pretty unfortunate experience. He was feeling salty about it. For me, it was literally I plugged it in, hit record, and was just amazed with the results. And I was like, perfect. This is so much better.
Amaze balls.
It was amaze balls, and I was like, "Yo, amaze balls, keeping this shit." So it was tight. So for me, it's great, and I would recommend it to anyone else, as I said, who's wanting to upgrade from the Focusrite, or if you're just looking into getting an audio interface, and you're looking to get your first ever audio interface, and you have a little bit of money to spend, but as I said, less than $300, then this might be the thing, man, because like as I said, it saves me now so much time. Streamlining certain things can really help speed up. Like, sometimes you're just super inspired and you don't want the hardware or software to get in your way. And this helps make everything a lot more efficient. So I'm really, really happy with my purchase.
I'm looking at all these different Focusrites. I see the 2nd gen, the one that I have. They have the 3rd gens. Oh, well, they're about the same price. Yeah, like you can get... They're like $160 for like the 2 i2s. So it's a little more expensive. I mean, the one that you have is like $230 or something like that. But I feel like that all of those things are definitely worth the extra money on that. Like that seems like it's worth it. Now, if you're like super on a budget, those fucking 2 i2s are great.
Oh,
like
yeah.
they're fucking amazing.
Definitely.
Like I still use one. Like they're especially if you're just getting started and shit like that, and like you don't really care about trying to sound analog or whatever. But like in terms of just the functionality wise, it sounds nicer than the Focusrite.
Yeah, for sure. So I mean, and plus especially with this kind of hardware, it's not like, as I said, I've been recording digitally for way over a decade now, and I've only gone through like 3 or 4 audio interfaces, and I would have gone through fewer had like I basically not lost one of them and one broke, and that's it. And then I only upgraded to this new one because I needed an upgrade. But if you get something like that to begin with, that could last you like years, possibly a decade. Genuinely.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I've only been through a few as well. I've had let's see, I had my first one was an M Audio interface.
Oh my god, I think I had an M Audio interface.
It was kind of like a bluish, like a purplish blue color. That's what I had first, and I hated it. Because it had driver issues with my laptop.
Yeah.
And I actually don't know. That laptop was fucky anyway.
Oh, yeah.
But it would cause it to blue screen randomly.
Oh, I see.
If it was plugged in, even if it was idling, sometimes it would. And then I remember I switched over to, I had like a Firewire port. This is way back in the day. This is like 2009, 2010.
Yeah.
I had the
Firewire
I had
Focusrite?
it was just... Yeah, it's the Sapphire. And
Sapphire,
that was
I
a
remember.
fantastic fucking interface. I loved that one. It wasn't as pretty as the Scarlet.
Yeah.
Because it was just like black and it was real blocky looking. But it had this like program in it that was like a software. It came with some software that you could like basically manage digitally a lot of the signal stuff. And it made it like easy to like switch buffers really quickly and stuff like that, which is like it's a little bit of a pain to do with the Focusrite. I mean, I say it's a pain. It takes like a minute, but but before it was just like literally instantaneous. And then I got a new PC and I didn't have a Firewire port in it. And so then I got the Focusrite, and then the Focusrite's been good for me ever since. So I've had 3 total, I think. Yeah. One Focusrite did die on me, but it wasn't the Focusrite's fault. I had like a weird electrical occurrence happen in my laptop, and it like exploded, and then like everything that was plugged into it like fucked it. Yeah, it fucked up everything. My keyboard, my mouse, everything.
Yeah, that can happen. Yeah, so there you go. I mean, as I said, I'm very happy with it, but that's because I haven't had those driver issues. Because again, you don't need to install any drivers if you're on a Mac, at least with this. with SSL2 and SSL2 Plus, and same goes for all the Focusrites and everything as well. So
yeah, you can just kind of plug and play. It's like very optimized in that way. Oh, this is completely random and it's a very different topic, but I would like to bring this up. Okay. So I saw that, and last week I talked about this game that I did not know the name of. That was vaguely about aliens, and I was for sure that no one would ever know what I'm talking about. However, last night, someone hit me with it, and apparently the game is called Experiment 12.
Oh
that
my
is the
God,
name of the game.
that's right. Oh,
and
wow.
I found it, and there was like, and it's so weird because I was looking so hard for it, and I could not find it, and someone found it. And I'm talking about I went on like hour-long Google searches at least like 10 times.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find it. And because I didn't know the name of it or anything, I had like it's very vague. Like my description of it was very vague.
Man. Oh, I remember it so much now.
Yeah, it's a really cool game.
Oh, fuck. I remember it. We got to play it sometime on Chibi Chubby.
Yeah. We should definitely play it. That seems like a good one to play.
Yeah, for sure. I have a question, dude. So what if somebody was telling you like, okay, I'm gonna give you 50 grand if you allow us to put you in a room where you have your genitals exposed, right? And Jim Jones is in the room there with you.
The rapper or the
rapper? Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And he's staring at your genitals for 10 minutes. And for the first half a minute, he's just like kind of looking at it like intensely, and then he starts laughing for the rest of the 9 minutes and a half. He laughs, and for every minute that he is laughing, another member of Dipset enters the room, like, "Hey, what's going on?" And sees your genitals and joins in on the laughter and pointing, right? And that happens for 10 minutes straight, right? Would you say yeah?
I'd do it for free.
What if they said we'd live stream it as well?
See, that's a little different.
And it's like they wouldn't live stream your genitals, but it's clear that they're looking and laughing at your genitals, but you can't see your genitals. It's not like it wouldn't be like a very indecent stream necessarily.
I mean, yeah, then that's the thing. That was the thing. Like, it's one thing for like all of Dipset to look at my penis and balls and laugh at them. Okay, I'm okay with that.
But your face, you have to maintain, like, you know how like Jim Carrey did the Grinch face where like the eyebrows are like really lowered and the smile.
I just gotta keep doing that.
Like that menacing Grinch smile. You just have the entire
50 grand's a lot of money.
And your arms behind the chair, right? Your arms behind the chair, you kind of protruding your lower half a little bit forward on the chair, almost kind of like, you know, in a movie, like when a detective like corners someone and they're like we know you did it. And he's like, you ain't no shit. Like you're kind of sitting like that, looking at them with a face like that. And as I said, every minute another member of Dipset comes in. It's like, oh, what's going on, guys? And they're like sees that and starts pointing and laughing as well.
I mean, shit, man. I'm about to get that 50 G's, bro.
Yeah.
I'll do it. I don't give a fuck.
Okay.
I don't give a fuck. I'll put the Grinch face on. You can bring all of fucking Harlem down.
Okay. Turns out you're like, okay, I'm going to do it. I don't give a fuck. They're like, hey, we have a new like condition if you're cool with it. Sorry, we forgot to mention it in the original email, but we're actually going to tie your arms behind the chair, and we're going to tie your legs to the front legs of the chair while you do it. It's just to guarantee that you're not moving too much. Since we're going to be live streaming it, we don't want you to accidentally slightly move where the genitals go into view, because we want it to be like almost in view but clearly out of view. Are you okay with this new condition?
With me being tied to a chair?
Yeah, that's just there's.
Will they let me go?
Well, that's all they tell you. You're there, and they're like, look, we're just going to... Look, I know it seems weird, but honestly, the whole premise is weird to begin with, right? It's like... Yeah. It's like an artistic expression that Dipset have decided to, give a go, right? And it's just like... And you were the chosen one, but there is this new condition, you have to be tied. And like, and you can sense that as they say it, they're like, they see that it's kind of like fucked up and that maybe you could haggle them for like a little more money or something. What do you say?
I mean, honestly, like I go like, yo, honestly, like give me like 10 G's more and you got a deal.
Okay. They like, they'll look at you kind of like, how about 5 G's more instead? Because like 10 just
I'd
for
say
some rope.
7. Hit me at 7. Meet me halfway.
They shake your hand, right? Like, but not really because coronavirus. So they're like, okay,
Yeah,
cool, you're there.
That's what they're concerned about.
You
here.
arrive on the day. You arrive on the day, and a person in the lab coat sort of brings you to the chair. They tie you to the chair. Jim Jones walks in, starts laughing at your genitals. The rest of Dipset and are like, it's been 10 minutes. You're doing the cringe face the entire time. And the 10 minutes are up and they're still laughing. And you're like, okay, something strange. A couple minutes pass and you're like, you're pretty certain at this point the 10 minutes have passed. What do you say?
Yeah. I say like, hey guys, it's been after 10 minutes. Like, where's my money? You guys gonna let me go? What's happening?
They start laughing harder, and you start noticing that there weren't any cameras in the room anyway.
Okay. So I'm now suspicious about me getting my money at all.
Right.
Was I lied to?
So another 10 minutes pass. They're still laughing, pointing at your genitals. You're no longer doing the Grinch face, although you did once do it halfway through, like minute 18, just because like on impulse, and then you remembered, wait, I'm not getting paid for this, maybe? What do you say?
Yeah, no.
Do you say anything?
I mean, I say I say something. I'm sitting there, I'm in the chair. They're laughing at my dick. It's been after the time period. Sorry, dick and balls. They're laughing at my dick and balls. I have to like just clarify. It's just not my dick. They're pointing at my general dick area and they're laughing.
Yeah.
I'm a little shook up. I'm in the chair. It's been after that amount of time. Dipset's there. Cameron, he's fucking wearing a pink fucking fursuit.
Suit. Yeah, fursuit. A
Jets
fur
is a furry.
onesie. A onesie.
Yeah. He's like he looks like Sonic Fox just without the thing on the head, and he's just pink.
Yeah,
and it's
Joel's,
that's what he's got going on.
What is Joel's doing?
Joel's he's laughing at me. He ain't got no teeth and shit.
Yeah.
And he's fucking really laughing. Hellrel is there. He's got like 12 guns on him.
Yeah. 40 cal.
But he's not using them. They're just 40 cal. I forgot he existed, but he's there.
Yeah. J.R. Ryder.
J.R. Ryder is writing.
Did we mention Freaky Zeke?
We did not mention Freaky Zeke.
Yeah.
He's there. He's real freaky.
The only one who's not there is Max B.
Yeah, but he's not there. But then someone they snuck a cell phone into his prison cell.
Yeah,
and
he's also pointing and laughing.
He's holding up a FaceTime of him, and he's just laughing.
Yeah. And then
and he's also saying that my dick and balls are wavy.
Wavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he says your dick and balls are wavy. B.
Yo, them dick and balls are real wavy, B.
Okay, so what do you say to Jim Jones? He's the closest. He's standing the closest to. He kind of comes closer. Every 5 minutes, he inches forward a little bit.
Every 5 minutes, he's slowly.
He's just a little bit closer.
It's like you close. Like if you did a time lapse, you'd see how he was moving, but you couldn't really see it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like he's doing it so stealthily that you're like, wait, is he closer than he was at the start? I swear he is, but when? I don't know. I don't remember him moving. That kind of thing. He's like, ha, laughing at you like that because that's how he laughs, right? What do you say?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I would say the same thing that I've been saying. Like, I'm just like, let me go.
He says,
I'm not. My opinion hasn't changed.
He stops laughing. It's just dead silence in the room. And he goes, Jones. Ballin. Jones. Yeah. Dipset.
Like, he's like all in my ear, just doing Dipset ad libs.
Jones. Dipset. And what do?
Skipper. Scooby Snacks. He had the best ad libs. He'd just say random fucking phrases.
Bird game.
He'd just be like, Admiral. Just like weird shit. weird nautical titles.
Yeah. So he's doing it closer and closer.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, the sexual tension is real high. Mm-hmm. And I'm chilling, dick out. He's whispering Dipset ad libs in my ear,
whispering them. He's like, Jones, Dipset.
Yeah, like as he's saying them, like as he gets closer, he gets quieter and quieter. You know what I mean?
Skipper.
Yeah, it just becomes like ASMR, like Dipset ad lib ASMR.
He's moving from your left ear to your right ear, right? Like,
and it's like super stereo. Yeah. Like if I close my eyes, if I close my eyes, I can hear it like going like mad fast from one ear to the next ear. But if I open
chair,
yeah, he's like circling me. It's like inhuman, but I can't see. Like when I open my eyes, it's fine. Like he's just in one ear. But if I close my eyes, it's like he's moving at an inhuman pace.
Yeah. So they get tired. They're like they've had their fill.
As they do.
And they leave the room and they close the door behind. But they don't really lock it either. It's just like there's no real reason to. You're all alone in this room that has no windows. It's like all white. It looks like some sort of weird part of the Apple store. And you're tied to this chair. Your legs are tied to the chair. Your arms are tied to the chair. Your dick and balls are out. And there's nothing else in the room except for a barrel of gasoline and a torch hanging on the other side of the wall.
Excellent.
Because that's the choice of decor that they went with for this room. It's just kind of an aesthetic choice.
Yeah, I'm still in the chair, correct?
You're still in this chair. It's just like a fucking normal fucking IKEA dinner table chair.
But is it like it's an IKEA in the same way that I could like probably like break it in half, or like
I don't know.
It's indestructible?
Possibly, but you could hurt yourself because your arms are tied behind the chair and your legs are tied to the front legs of the chair. So it's not like you could just stand up, like you would have to you'd have to think of other ways other than just like standing up, because you don't have any room to move your legs.
Okay, so like I could kind of like bunny hop all the way over to the gasoline though, couldn't I?
I guess you could.
Okay.
Yeah, you could.
So that's what I opt to do. You can roll for that one.
Okay.
I don't know if this is some D&D situation where it's like if I roll high, I do well. If I roll low.
Yeah. Can you give me a moment? I'm going to piss. Hey, Bill, I'm back. I heard you were talking to your inner voice again. What's been up?
So
okay, I'm rolling the die.
Okay.
So if it lands on 3 or 1, 2, or 3, then you fall over and break your neck. If it's 4 or 5 or 6, you successfully make it to the canister.
Okay, roll it. Rolling. Wait, shouldn't it be like if you roll a 1 or a 2, I fall and break my neck? If I roll a 3 or a 4, I like just fall over and have a bad time. And if I roll a 5 and a 6, I make it all the way over.
Okay, how about this? If you roll a 1 or a 2, you fall over, break your neck. If you roll a 3 or a 4, you make it to the canister. If it's 5 or 6, you fall over, and then the canister falls over on you, and the torch falls on you as well. And yeah, we'll see what happens from there.
Shouldn't it be like the worst being the lowest? And like, isn't that how that works?
Exactly. That's what it is.
So 5 and 6 is the best case scenario, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Just go ahead and roll for me, buddy.
Damn it. It's a 4.
Oh, perfect. So I make it all the way over there to the gas canister.
Yeah.
Okay. So first, I'm real thirsty, so I've got to take a sip real quick.
Understandable. Proceed.
Yeah. So I just take a little,
little sippy sip.
So I'm all hopped up. I'm all hopped up off of that baby sip.
Right. Facts.
And I'm making the decision I'm going to expertly hop up and just get gasoline on the parts of the ropes that I need to burn to get out of the chair. Mm-hmm. And then hit the wall real hard. Torch falls down and just hits me, grazes me. And I use my cat-like reflexes to get out of there without getting burned. Mm-hmm. So, how we rolling for this?
Well, what do you want it to happen? Let me see kind of like, I want to gauge your expectations and sort of like lay out the rules.
What I want is I hop in just for like a split second using my strength muscles. Mm-hmm. I hop up to the gas canister. I just get enough of the gasoline on me to like, it doesn't actually land on me. It lands on the rope to where I can free myself. Mm-hmm. And then I kick the wall and make the torch fall. I imagine the torch is on the wall for some reason. I don't think it actually is, but okay. Mm-hmm. And it just grazes me enough to where it frees me. Mm-hmm. But I don't actually get burned. That's my best case scenario. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's what I want.
Yeah. So if you roll 1 or 2, you fall over and break your neck.
Okay.
If you roll a 3 or 4, you break your neck and then fall over.
Yeah.
If you roll a 5 or 6, Eminem busts into the room through the wall and releases you. So yeah, hoping for a 3 or 4 again.
Please. Roll that real good. Roll that good number.
Rolling it. There we go. It's a 5. Eminem.
Awesome. So Eminem, Marshall.
He busts into the room and goes, "Now everybody 313." And he's like, lets you go, right? He like unties you and you're like, oh, Marshall. And he goes, "You follow me,"
Yeah. I'm not from the 303, but I will follow.
He's like, fuck the free world, 313. He says like that. Those.
Yeah. Why does he sound like some kind of weird wizard?
Now this looks like a job for me. He says.
Yeah. As he's putting on his wizard robes.
And then Jim Jones enters the room panicked along with Freaky Zeke. He's like, "Jones!" Clearly he was disturbed by the sounds he heard from inside the room.
He says that it's not ballin'.
Not ballin'! And then you're like, you and Eminem are there. You're finally untied. What do you do?
Well, I'm still like butt-ass naked, right?
Well, yeah, but that's besides the point. Oh, yeah, okay. Freaky Zeke at one point like looks over, points at your genitals, starts laughing, and Jones kind of like nudges him like, this isn't the time, Bad time.
I pull out my knife.
From where?
From my asshole.
Is it like, okay, please tell me it's either like holstered up or it's a Swiss knife?
Nah.
Ow. Okay, you pull out a knife.
You got to stay fucking prepared. It's a big knife. It's like a big ass dagger.
Yeah.
But it's also good for slicing, making it not a dagger.
Yeah. Eminem jumps on on Jim Jones. He goes 313. You know,
He just jumps on him?
He just jumps on him. 313.
Does he like fuck him up or anything, or he just kind of jumps on him?
Jim Jones like throws a punch, and both of Eminem's arms explode.
Excellent. There's blood everywhere, or like
Yeah.
he's like floundering, like having a bad time, just yelling 313 over and over.
And then Eminem is just like, he does that.
Yeah. I love that. I love it when he does that. He did that on Infinite.
It's like, yo, battling Madeline. He starts doing that. Jim Jones is like, oh no. Like, exhibiting ribbiting. And he's like, oh. So they run out.
Freaky Zeke's just like fucking, he's just standing there. Like he doesn't know what's going on.
What's happening? So Jones urges Freaky Zeke to flee. They both run away. Eminem, armless, just starts like fucking running after them, you know? Fucking rapping straight. No, rapping straight multis. Just multis.
Oh, yeah, he's just like sitting there.
In
like,
his King of the Dot flow.
He's just like, yeah, exactly. Like he's just like, Donald Trump, I got an awful hump. I hit that blonk and dump. And like, he just like, at this point, he's just saying complete gibberish.
Yeah. He's like, you know, he's just chasing
That's
after.
an awfully hot cocky cock.
Yeah, playing Minecraft with a blocky thought. And then, like, you know, you sort of start hearing him less. He's like, as he gets further and further, you know, like, I'll kill you, Jones. I don't feel you, Jones. I got a million bones. You know, like, in your.
Eminem has a million bones. Yeah, dude.
So he's saying.
I forgot.
So he's saying shit like that. And you're like, okay, I'm butt ass naked with a knife in my hand that I pulled out of my ass.
There's blood everywhere.
Like you step out into the hall and you could follow where Eminem went after Jim Jones, or you could take the fire exit stairs down. You're only in like the second or third story of whatever building you're in, it seems, and just like go downstairs and exit. Like, what do you do? Which would you prefer? And then we're gonna roll the dice.
Wait, it's either I go down an exit or I could follow Jim Jones.
Yeah, you followed Eminem chasing
Fuck
Dipset.
it, dude. Let's follow Jim Jones. We gotta fuck Jim Jones up and watch Eminem fuck him up.
Yeah.
I'm not getting out of here until I get my money.
Okay, so if we roll a 1 or 2, you you fall over and break your neck. 3 or 4, you make it down to the exit and escape the building, butt ass naked. 5 or 6, you chase after Eminem chasing after Dipset.
Okay, just roll it up.
Yeah.
Roll it up. Roll up the fatty.
Okay, actually, I'm sorry. You rolled a 3. You go downstairs, take the stairs, the exit. You come out, and Eminem is actually there. So, luckily for you, that's exactly where they ended up being. Eminem's there, just like he's cornered all of Dipset at the end of this alleyway, like the back of the alleyway, because the part of the exit you took is like behind the building. And so kind of like, like the fucking Lady and the Tramp kind of alleyway, and like Eminem wants
vaguely, yes.
Eminem wants to do the spaghetti scene with Jim Jones. Like he lets her know through like this visceral multis freestyle. He's cornering them. They're scared.
Yeah, like he's like losing like body functions because he's lost so much blood.
Yeah, he's just shooting
and
blood.
He's just like he's shooting blood out of both arm sockets, and it's just like going cross-eyed, using all of his like mental faculties to do these multis.
Yeah. He's just like, he's making less and less sense. He's like, yo, that's Lady and the Tramp got a baby and a lamp. I'm crazy off that lamp. Like, you're like, what's happening, And
he's like completely lost it.
Yeah. And you see a tear roll down the side of Jim Jones's face. and that means something to you. And all of a sudden you feel pity for Jones.
Yeah.
And Dipset, right?
A little bit. Like a small smidge of pity.
You now want to murder Eminem.
Okay, I don't want to murder Eminem. I don't want to come anywhere near Eminem.
But the only way to murder Eminem is to come at him with Maltese as well. So if I roll a 1 or 2, you run away and you don't engage the guys at all. If I roll 3 or 4, you run up to Eminem, you trip and fall and break your neck. If 5 or 6, you run up to Eminem and you start battling him with Maltese.
Okay, perfect. I'm hoping for a 5 and 6 because I don't want to die. Yeah. I mean, I guess I could just leave, but let's just continue on. Let's go for that roll.
Okay, so we roll it. It's your lucky day, Bill. You got a 6.
I thought you were gonna say it's a lucky day. You broke your neck. Perfect. Yeah. All right. What's in front of me? What's Marshall saying to me?
So, okay, he's like just battling, and you're like, you walk up behind him and you go, "Hey, you."
I'm sorry. Like he's not even breathing.
No,
he's just rapping.
It's just
all he knows is
his eyes
fine dining and rapping.
His eyes have rolled back completely, like.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm here. Like, I'm here.
Battle. You're like, you call him out, and like you have to get his attention. What do you say?
I say, listen, man be lying. You softer than dandelions.
He like quickly looks over his shoulder and back to Dipset. Like you sort of almost got his attention, but then he's just like lost it again. He's like scribbling, jibbling, dibbling, nibbling. Like I'm nibbling and scribbling and dibbling, ribbling. Got the riddling, diddling.
All right. I say skibbity bop.
That's it. He's turned around. Like, he's looking straight at you.
Skibbity bop. You look like the shittiest cop. I might just go get me a op.
He's like, might just give me a job dividends like he starts like lagging.
Right.
So like he's on his last leg. You got to like finish him off. That's what you're thinking. Like clearly like you're
say
getting to
you hard, you lying man. You just a big pussy like a lion's mane.
And he's like, jibbling, ribbling, fibbling. But you can see that he's...
It's time for me to take my final stroke of death stroke.
And Jim Jones, you see Jim Jones, he puts his, like, he cups his hands around his mouth a little bit, like, but open cup style. And he, like, screams over, like, Eminem's shoulder, like, Scooby Snacks.
Oh,
Scooby
shit.
Snacks. He keeps saying that. And then Cameron joins them. Scooby Snacks. Joel Santana's like, Scooby Snacks. Everybody's joining them in. Everyone's like, Scooby Snacks. Scooby Snacks. Scooby Snacks.
I put my hands in the air as if I was some sort of like Goku in Dragon Ball Z trying to absorb the energy for the spirit bomb. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm absorbing their Scooby Snack ass energy
mm-hmm.
to hit him with my final death blow.
Mm-hmm.
I take a deep inhale in like this. And I say, lyrical, miracle, spiritual. And then I pull I point at my balls, which are still exposed, and say, my balls are spherical.
Eminem's legs just like fold forwards like a horse's hind legs. And then
perfect.
He's now like about to collapse. Deliver the one final blow. He's there. You've almost done it.
I say 8 Mile, more like 8 Miled.
And he seizes motion. He stops moving completely, and it seems that you've won this battle.
I knew I would, as I always do. Marshall, we will fight another day in another plane of existence, but on this plane, I am the GOAT.
Yeah, Jim Jones runs over to you and gives you a big old smooch.
We start making out.
Yeah, and then like while you're making out, Cameron like slowly starts sitting you back into a chair and tying your arms. To be continued. That was really cool, Bill. I didn't know you went through all of that.
Yeah, well, man.
What does it
You
feel
know
like?
me, man.
That's your life. That's crazy, right?
Man, like not everyone can have an interesting, cool life like me. And
That's
I know
facts.
that.
That's facts.
And so everyone who doesn't have that is beneath me,
That's understandable. Hey, do you hear that sound? That really strange, bizarre sound?
No!
What is that sound?
It's the pterodactyl.
A kangaroo burping backwards?
That's how I feel. That's how I feel mentally.
I think it's ad time.
Ad time. I can't believe it. It's time for our advertisement.
Now, Bill, I know this is a product that you've been looking forward to talking about, And I can't wait because you told me it would address the issue that I've been having lately, right?
Yeah, I know. I've been waiting to talk to you about this personally because I feel like you would really love to subscribe to this product.
Yeah, like I've been really having this issue where it's like, my neighbor, my neighbor's kid keeps waking me up in the morning. Like they'll just start shouting or crying and stuff like that, and it's really been bothering me in a way where it's like I just feel like I start my day off wrong, like in a bad mood immediately.
Yeah.
And
so you gotta fix that.
I had to, do something about it. And you told me specifically, like, what, that's like crazy that you say that, Raph. That's fucking crazy because our sponsor for this week is legitimately, it's like, was made for you, bro. That's what you told me. Yeah,
it was made for you. And it doesn't have anything to do with the kid waking you up. It is... Okay, I've got a question for you, Rav.
Hit me with it.
Okay, I know you love tacos.
Facts.
I can't get you to stop talking about them. You come up to me in the morning, in the evening, you're just like...
I love the taco about it.
Yes, you should do shit like that. It makes me not want to be your friend anymore. Anyway, so like, we're all just hanging out. You just won't stop talking about... I'm like hanging out in Texas with you, and I'm like, yeah, man, we just had tacos, like 3 meals today. And then he's just like, oh, it's time for my midnight taco snack. Let's go to the taco shack. And like, you won't stop talking about it.
Yeah.
So anyway, but you particularly, I know that you go to the taco place and you say like, I see all these flavors and all these different ones, but they don't have my favorite flavor of taco or just favorite flavor of anything. And I have not tasted this flavor of taco.
Right.
And I kept saying to myself, like, I was like, wow, that's crazy that they don't have this because it seems like it'd be the first thing on the list,
Right.
So I give it to you, inspired completely by Rav's wishes. cum flavored tacos. Okay, so let's get into the technology of this. All right. So imagine it. You have a taco. It's good. A vegan taco. We don't need any of that we don't need any eggs in the taco. You know, we don't need none of that.
Right.
But you're just asking yourself, I just don't have the good, juicy flavor of semen that I crave every day. You know? And which is something that Rav has spoken to me about several times, that he just can't stop eating cum, you know? And so I thought to myself, you know, let's find the right partner for this. So Wrigley's, our good friends down at Wrigley's, not to be confused with Wrigley's Gum, because those are two different companies,
this is
and
Wrigley's
I
Cum.
don't want a lawsuit.
Yeah.
Wrigley's Cum, you know? Sorry, I said it wrong, but it sounds better that way.
Yeah.
They have brought it to you, the cum flavored taco. It does not actually contain any semen in it. It's artificially flavored to taste just like cum, so it's not quite as good, but it wouldn't be vegan if it had cum in it. And it's a vegan taco. So, I mean, I think it's astounding that they've been able to engineer a soy byproduct that tastes just like jizz. And let's talk about the technology. What do you think about the technology of this product?
I mean, you just talked about the technology, and
Let's talk about it more.
it's impressive. It's bold. Bold.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, actually, it's funny that you say that, because it actually comes in two different flavors. It's just normal cum, and then there's bold cum flavor, which I imagine would taste like the semen of a man who drinks a lot of Mountain Dew.
Hey, Bill, can I pull you over to the side?
Yeah.
Hey,
What's up, buddy?
remember the taco thing we were talking about the other day?
Yeah.
I meant kumquat flavor, dude.
Kumquat?
Yeah, not semen. Kumquat. It's a completely different thing entirely.
There's no cum in kumquat? There's not
no,
like even
no,
like
no,
a drop
not
of...
even not even a little bit. It's a like a cold hardy citrus, you know?
So it doesn't taste like what you want.
No, I was looking for a citrus.
I mean, they're good. I've been eating them all week.
Yeah, but I just feel
You know,
like
they
we're
send
really
us free ones, free
fooling
samples.
our listeners into thinking that, this is made as per my demand. Cum tacos.
Well, you
great.
said that. You said that.
I did say kumquat tacos. You know, it's quite different.
Okay.
I'm just.
Well, it's like when they do those movie reviews, and it's just like, it was a very ... good movie. It's like, you just said, I really want cum ... tacos.
Right. Yeah. Gotcha. So, but I feel like you're omitting the word, like you're not like stopping at the end of the word, the ... cutting it out. Whatever. It's details. I'll let's
Listen, man, we got a fucking spot. Like, I'm pretty sure you're still mic'd up. I'm pretty sure you're still mic'd up and you're talking.
It's okay, man. I'm sure you won't forget to edit this out in post. That's all that matters, is that we like...
Honestly, I don't edit anything on these podcasts.
Okay, that's a little concerning, but you know what? We could talk about it later. Anyway, all right, so... semen flavored tacos.
So your fuel for cum tacos. You're wanting it. You need it. You like it. You love it. You want some more of it.
Grateful for the sponsor. Didn't even know I wanted this. Almost. That's how it feels. Like.
Yeah. Well, you couldn't stop talking about it.
Yeah. This is great. You like tacos, but you also want some nut in your mouth. This is the thing. This is the product.
Wrigley's Cum Tacos.
This is...
Buy them. Purchase.
Buy it.
Today.
Yep. What's the price tag?
Bodie.
And the discount?
90.
And the code is...
Cum.
The website is... JoeBiden.com.
Wrigley's.com. JoeBiden.com. Enter come today for 90% off of your cum flavored tacos. Please go to JoeBiden.com. Send a message asking for cum flavored tacos. I promise you it will be read.
All right, cool. And if that doesn't work for whatever reason, please go on twitter.com/IamKillBill, all one word, and just send a message or a tweet, I think it's called on that site. It's weird. It's an interesting way that they build the site. And just give me that nut taco, comma, followed by Padre, and then hit submit for a chance to get a free cum taco today.
Yeah,
and also this deal never runs out. Ever. So if you're listening to this 6 years from now, it's still on. The deal is it's forever. Just do it.
Okay, that's one way to do it, but there's a faster hyperlink, which is
I like the producer hitting me up and
/twitter.com/IamRav, and if you don't get a response back, just keep sending it over and over. Just keep sending.
I see the producer.
I need that nut, Padre. Give me the cum tacos.
The producer's convulsing at this point. Really just saying
we don't have a producer.
He's pointing at the.
We don't have.
He's
this
pointing
is all
at his
fucking lie.
I think we're out of time. Thank you guys for joining us on this very special episode of the We Don't Suck podcast, episode number 64. We look forward
I mean, if we're gonna keep it a buck, man, I really want to fuck on Dark Side Phil.